begin lesson 2, just quickly, if we look back at, we're not going to go through anything in lesson 1 again, but just to refresh our memories as to what we covered in lesson 1. Right? Remember, this is book 2 of the Medina book. Medina books. So, lesson 1, of course. I have some students in front of me here too, right? So I'll make sure they're with us.
Yeah, the same page, right?
Yeah. So we looked at a few concepts in lesson 1, right? Of course, that of the inna and how it is attached to the attached pronouns, right? So we have the inna and how that works. We also looked at one of the sisters of inna, which was Lisa. All right, I think we did that a little bit lower down. Right? La'alla, sorry, la'alla, right, from the akhawata inna. So we have, again, it works just like inna in terms of how it affects the sentences. So we looked at inna, we looked at la'alla. Two of them, in terms of the meaning, inna tends to emphasize their sentence, and la'alla tends to express some sort of hope or wish. All right. We also looked at the concept of du being the possessor of or the owner of. All right. And we said the word du is from Asma al-Khamsa, which we will speak about later on, right? 5 special nouns. We also looked at the word mia, which is 100, and we looked at how that works in a sentence and how it affects the word after it, as well as the word alf. Alf meaning 1,000, mia meaning 100, and alf meaning 1,000. Okay, so these are some of the things that we looked at in this first lesson. Right, second lesson. So if you get straight into the second lesson, I'll read it. Please, if everyone can see the screen, if you want to follow on screen or if you want to follow in your books, in your text. All right, so lesson 2, Ad-Darus Al-Thani. Hishamun, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bilalun, wa alaikum assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Kayfa haluka, ya akhi? Man al-akh? Hishamun. أنا مهندس جديد اسمي هشام أنا من الولايات المتحدة بلال أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك يا أخي أنا مسرور بلقائك أنا زميلك اسمي بلال ابن حامد بلال بن حامد أمن واشنطن أنت يا هشام هشام لا أنا لست من واشنطن إني من نيويورك بلال أمسلم أبوك يا هشام هشام لا هو ليس بمسلم هو ليس بمسلم بلال أمك وأمك أمسلمة هي هشام لا هي ليست بمسلمة بلال ألك أبناء يا هشام ألك أبناء يا هشام هشام نعم لي 6 لي 6 أبناء. بلال الطلاب هم الطلاب هم هشام لا هم ليسوا بطلاب إن بعضهم تجار وبعضهم مهندسون. بلال ألك بنات؟ هشام نعم لي 5 بنات. لي 5 بنات. بلال أمتزوجات هن أمتزوجات هن هشام لا هن لسن بمتزوجات إنهن صغار. إنهن صغار بعضهن في المدرسة الابتدائية وبعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. بلال ألك إخوة؟ هشام لا ليس لي إخوة. ليس لي إخوة. إن لي 3 أخوات. بلال أمسلمات هن؟ هشام نعم هن مسلمات والحمد لله. Okay, so that is the conversation between Hisham and Bilal. We're going to go through it again, and this time we're going to look at the words and translations. All right?
Inshallah.
So, to begin, الدرس الثاني, the second lesson. هشام السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بلال وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. We know the meaning of that, all right? كيف حالك يا أخي? How are you? All right? Or how is your condition? Or how are you? يا أخي, oh my brother. Okay, so we see the word here. You all see the cursor on the screen?
Yeah.
Right. So, ya akhi, ya akhi. So the word akhun means brother. Akhi means my brother. Of course, this has become a mainstream word now in Trinidad and other parts of the world, both among Muslims and non-Muslims. Akhi, my brother. Okay. So akhun, brother, and of course the adiya mutakallim, the person speaking, my akhi, my brother. Okay. Ya akhi. Man al akh. So this is literally means who is the brother. Who is the brother? But is a polite way of asking, who are you? Who are you? Okay. Sometimes you ask, who are you? Might be kind of impolite. So man al akh is a more polite way of asking, who are you? Okay. So Hisham replies, Ana muhandisun. Ana muhandisun. I am an engineer. Jadidun. I am a new engineer. I am a new engineer. Right? Jadidun. You see here, the adjective describes the noun, right? Indefinite, indefinite, masculine, masculine, singular, singular, and so on, right?
Ustad,
Ismi, yes.
in the end of the first statement, then, instead of saying man al af, would not have been better to say man anta?
Yeah, you could say that as well. But
I
man
think
anta,
it's more confusing. Man al af is more confusing than man anta. Or is it that you're looking at probably in the form of dearness or more like a relative kind of way or something like that?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think manal akh is more of a formal way, like more formal, as opposed to both. Remember, a lot of expressions, even in English, you have different ways of using, different ways of saying the same thing. You know, some of them might be, more
Okay.
formal, more
Well,
informal, depending on the scenario,
yeah.
right? I suspect this here seems
Right.
to be like a more formal setting.
Right.
So Manal Akh, who is the brother, um, you know, asking basically, who are you? All right. So Hisham replies, Ana. No, you see where we reach? Yeah. Hisham, Ana muhandisun jadidun. Ismi Hishamun. Right? So he's saying, I'm a new engineer. My name is Hisham. Ana min al-wilayatu al-muttahidati. Right? So the United States. I am from the United States. So Bilal asks, oh, he says rather, Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan, we know that means welcome. Marhaban bikum, you're welcome, right? Wa marhaban bika, ahlan wa sahlan, wa marhaban bika. Right? Literally, ahlan means people, wa sahlan means at ease. Marhaban means welcome. From the word rahaba, which means like to have a reception or to receive. So marhaban means like a good reception or welcome, right? So the Arabs, both Muslim and non-Muslim, this is the term they use, ahlan wa sahlan. So it literally means you are like family then, you are like our people. And wa sahlan, be at ease. So you can relax, be at ease. So it's a way of welcoming people, you know, in the Arabic language. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban. Bika, ya akhi, oh my brother. Ana masrurun, I am happy. Ana masrurun biliqa'ik, I am happy with your meeting. Meaning I am happy to meet you. Ana masrurun biliqa'ik. Right? The word liqa, for those of you who remember, a long time you used to have liqa, sisters liqa, brothers liqa. Right? So liqa is the Arabic for a meeting. A meeting, right? So this is like literally a meeting between two individuals, right? Or even it might be a formal meeting, it might be an informal meeting. You know, you meet somebody on the road, right? So Ana masrurun biliqa'ik. I am happy with meeting you, or I'm happy to meet you, right? Which is again a normal expression you would say to welcome somebody, you know, and make somebody feel at ease. You would tell them, welcome, you know, be at ease, I'm happy to meet you. These are things you normally tell, right, somebody to make them feel welcome, all right? Ana zamiluka, I am your friend, or I am your companion, or colleague, sorry. Ana zamiluka, right? Ismi Bilalu ibn Hamid. My name is Bilal, the son of Hamid, right? So I suspect this might be like in a workplace, all right? So these are probably two colleagues, two co-workers meeting for the first time. So he's asking him, you know, about himself, where he's from, and so on. Hisham is the new engineer at a company, probably, and Bilal is his colleague or co-worker. All right. So you say, Ana zamiluka, I am your colleague or co-worker. Ismi Bilal ibnu Hamidin. I am Bilal, the son of Hamid. All right. I'm in Washington. Are you from Washington? All right. It's from Washington, you, right? Literally, but this is how you ask it in Arabic, right? Are you from Washington? Ya Hisham, oh Hisham. Hisham says la. Ana lastu min Washington. So this exercise, if you notice, this word laisa and the different forms as how it changes when it attaches to different pronouns, you would see as you go through. I'll point it out, all right? So ana lastu. So when the person is speaking, first person, singular, we say lastu. Okay? Ana lastu in Washington. I am not from Washington. Of course, we use that to negate what comes after, right? This negating what coming after. So la ana lastu in Washington. I am not from Washington. Inni, verily, I am. This goes back to the first lesson, right? Inni, this is inna and the ya mutakallim attached to it. So you get inna. So again, based on the first lesson, we can say innani or we can say inni. All right, in this case, innani, inni. Inni, verily I am from min, New York. I am from New York. Right? So this is basically transliteration of the English words into Arabic using the Arabic letters, right? You know, normally we are accustomed to transliteration of the Quran using the English letters. You know, sometimes if when we couldn't read Arabic, long time you would read the transliteration of these surahs, you know, or sometimes we read in a dua, we don't really do have all the vowels, we might read the Arabic, read the transliteration. So we use the English letters, right? So this is the transliteration of the English word using the Arabic letters, right? So Bilal replies, or Bilal continues, a Muslimun Abuka, is your father a Muslim, Ya Hisham? So he's asking him, somebody coming from the United States, you know, is majority non-Muslim. There's a lot of reverts there as well. So he's asking him about his family history. Say, is your father a Muslim? A Muslimun Abuka, Ya Hisham? A Muslimun Abuka, Ya Hisham? So Hisham replies, La, huwa laisa bi Muslimin. No, he's not a Muslim. All right, his father is not a Muslim. All right. So we see this word again here, laisa. So this is laisa, and it's used referring to third person singular masculine. Laisa. Right. We saw it when it's used with first person singular, less two. Now we've seen it here, laisa, third person singular masculine. Right. La huwa laisa bi Muslimin. Bilal. Wa ummuka, and your mother, a muslimatun hiya, and your mother, is she a Muslim? Right? Isham replies, La, hiya laisat bi muslimatin. No, she is not a Muslim. Right? So Isham might be somebody who would have reverted, possibly. All right. So here, the la here laisat. So we see the word laisa above here. Again, it negates what comes after. So this is third person masculine singular. This is third person feminine singular. Right? La hiya laysat bi muslimatin. No, she is not a Muslim. Continuing, Bilal, alaka abna'u ya Hisham. Do you, is literally, he's saying, is there for you any sons? Ya Hisham. You could refer to sons or you could refer to the children. Right? Do you have any children? Like in general sense. Right? Hisham says, Naam li sittatu abana. Yes, I have 6 children or 6 sons. Right? Going on to the next page, Bilal asks, At-tullabun hum? Are they students? Hisham says, La hum laisu bitullabin. So we see the word coming up here again. Right? Laisu. So the laisa is changed to suit this particular scenario, which is third person masculine plural. Third person masculine plural. So speaking about 6 boys, right? So we assuming referring to the sons here, right? So they are the laisa changes to laisu, right? Because this word occurs many times in the Quran in the different forms. Right? In Surah Baqarah, you have a verse starts laisu sawa'un, speaking about different groups of people, not equal, these and these, right? So laisu is again to negate what comes after. So la, no, whom they laisu are not be tullabin, they are not students. Inna, verily, ba'dahum, some of them tujjarun, some of them are merchants or businessmen, wa ba'dahum muhandisun, and some of them are engineers. Right? Bilal, alaka banat, do you have any daughters? Hisham, na'am, li khamsu banatin, li khamsu banatin. Remember the rule when it came to numbering items between 3 and 10. You all could recall what we did towards the end of book 1, just going back here a little bit to the page before. All right, notice here where he is where he is enumerating the number of sons he has. Sitta tu abana. See the word sitta there?
Yeah.
See the word sitta? Right. Notice there's a tarmabuta at the end of the word sitta. Right? That tarmabuta is there. Why? Because the singular of the word that comes after, the singular of the word is ibn, which is son. And remember the rule, when you count in between 3 and 10, the adad and the ma'dud have to be opposite gender. All right? So the adad, the number here is sitta, which is 6. Sitta 2, you add the tarmabuta because the ma'dud, which is the thing which has been counted, which is the sons, is masculine. The singular of that is masculine. All right? And the same thing applies to the daughters. Right? So we go down here. And we see here now,
Kamsu banat.
Kamsu banatin. So the word Kamsu doesn't have a tarmabuta. Right? We're in the next page. Kamsu doesn't have a tarmabuta. Why?
The adad, the ma'dud is feminine.
Ma'dud, the singular ma'dud is feminine. So therefore, the Kamsu will be without the tarmabuta, which will be the masculine form. Right? All right, let's continue here. So Bilalun amutazawwijatun hunna, are they married? Amutazawwijatun hunna. So the word here, again, look at the aleph with the hamza on top. It is used to ask a question, right? To start a question, all right? And the word mutazawwijatun is a person who is married, right? And the plural of that is simply, you take out the ta marbuta at the end, you add the aleph and you open ta maftuha. So we get mutazawwijatun, all right? So amutazawwijatun hunna, are they married? Hisham, la, hunna, lasna. Look at this now. Before we had laisa, we had lastu, we had laisat, we had laisu, and now we have lasna. Lasna. We'll go through all the iterations of this, how it changes afterward, inshallah. But just look at it, how it's been applied here. Hunna, lasna. The same word, laisa, lastu, laisu, and here we have lasna. Speaking about third person feminine plural. Third person feminine plural, right? So Hisham says, no, they are not mutazawwijatun. They are not married. Innahunna, verily they, sigharun. Sigharun is plural of saghirun. Saghirun means small, and the plural of that is sigharun. Sigharun. Ba'dahunna, some of them, fil madrasati al-ibtada'iyyati, some of them are in primary school or beginner school, right, like preschool. وبعضهم بعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. They are in middle school, right? Middle school. Right, Bilal, alaka ikhwatun. Do you have any brothers? Right, you know the word akhun, brother, and ikhwatun, brothers. Right, Hishamun, la, Laisa li ikhwatun. So now we see in a different way of applying it here. Right? So before we saw Hisham replying and saying, less two. Less two. I do not have. Right? Here now we saying he applying the word Laisa, the whole word Laisa, but he separates what he is saying by this particle li. Laisa li ikhwatun. Right? So before he said less two, now he's saying Laisa li, not for me. Ikhwatun. I do not have any brothers. Inna li thalatha akhawatin. Verily I have 3 sisters. Again, look at the adad and the ma'dud. The adad and the ma'dud. The adad is thalatha akhawatin. Right? So the word thalatha doesn't have the tamabut at the end. Why? Because what is being counted after is feminine. So therefore the number has to be opposite gender to what is being counted, right? So the number has to be masculine if the counted item is feminine. In this case is speaking about sisters, so feminine. All right. Bilalun amuslimatun hunna. Are they Muslims? Are they Muslims? Okay, so we know the word muslimatun and plural are the alif and the ta maftuha, muslimat. All right. Hisham, na'am, hunna muslimatun. Walhamdulillah. Yes, they are Muslims and all praises for Allah. All right. Okay, before we go on, any questions about this? Any words we missed out? Any words you don't understand? You could unmute your mic and ask a question, or if you want to type it out, I think there's a chat somewhere. And its sisters are all verbs.
So Laisa is part of the group of Kana.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yes, I'll go. Say that question. Yeah. No, Laisa is two. Laisa is the two-person singular form, but you could use it like this. If you say li after, right? If you use it without the li, as you saw earlier on, you would say less two, less two, right? Any other questions?
I think we did there.
A question, Nora? If we go down, is all the words clear in terms of what they mean and so on?
Yes, sir.
Should be pretty straightforward. I don't think I have much new words there, other than Elisa. As I say, it negates what comes after, so it sort of negates that nominal sentence, right? For example, if you have the word al-baytu jadidun, al-baytu jadidun, the house is new. Al-baytu jadidun, the house is new. You could put in laisa in front of it. Laisa al-baytu jadidun, jadidin, right? Now, supposed to be jadidan. Now, just like all right, now do the word Lisa, you have to add this ba, as you would see here. You have to add the ba on the khabar of Lisa. So you have ismu Lisa, which is the first word, and then you have khabar Lisa, which is the second word. So as you would have a sentence, a nominal sentence, right? The mubtada and the khabar. You know, the nominal sentence is made up of two components, the mubtada and the khabar. right? Mubtada, which starts the sentence, and the khabar is the news or the information about the mubtada, all right? So the Lisa now, when you introduce Lisa to it, the the ismu Lisa, it is that first word which would have been the mubtada. So you have al baytu jadidun. Al baytu jadidun. Mubtada is al baytu, and jadidun is the khabar, right? So just as you when you introduce kana into a sentence, the mubtada becomes the ismu kana, and the khabar becomes the khabar kana. All right. So with this now, you have the ismu laysa and the khabar of laysa. Now with the khabar of laysa, the ba is added. Notice wherever it is applied here, that particle ba is added to complete the meaning of laysa. All right. So let's go back through the passage and look and see how that happens. Right. So we're on page 1 of this lesson 2, coming down to right. Okay. Look, Hisham is asked here. A Muslimun abuka, ya Hisham? La huwa laisa bi. Huwa laisa bi Muslimin. Now this here, where's the ismu laisa? Is saying laisa and then seeing the b here. I said that the ismu laisa and then you have the khabar of laisa will have the ba attached to it, right? Here now, the ismu laisa is understood. Right? It means huwa, right? So this really is the ismu laisa here. Going on here again. Similarly, here ummuka wa ummuka a muslimatun here. Hisham says la here laisat bi muslimatin. Right? So you could say laisat here bi muslimatin. Here laisat bi muslimatin. So the mubtada would have been understood here. As a about the khabar. Right? Khabar of laisa. Again here, Atullabun hunna, the first line in the second page. Read it, Nora. Bilal says Atullabun hunna, so Atullabun hum, and Hisham says la, hum laisu bitullabin, laisu bitullabin. So you see the ba coming in here again, right?
Is it ba the harf jar ba or is that separate different ba?
Yeah, it's harful jar, so it makes the word majroor after it, right? There are a few questions here on this passage. I think we would have done some of these already orally in class a while back, right? Ajib an al-as'ilat al-atiya. Answer the following questions. Wahid, min aina Hishamu? Min aina Hishamun? Anybody?
Huwa min Washington.
Huwa min New York.
New York, New York.
Laisa,
New York.
Laisa, right. Yeah. Right. Right. Min ayyi madinat
Wilayat
al-muttahidati, right? So
Tahidat
from the United States, and the second question is min ayyi madinati huwa? Huwa
min New York.
York, right? Kam ukhtan lahu? How many sisters does he have? ثلاثة. ثلاث أخوات. Right? Right. The second exercise, you put a tick by the correct question, by the correct statement, and an X by the wrong statement. All right. The first one, Hishamun min Washington. So is this correct or wrong? Nura?
Wrong.
Wrong. Right, it's wrong. Second one. Akhawatuhu muslimat. His sisters are Muslims. Correct or wrong?
Sahih.
Sahih. Correct. 3. Banatuhu lasna bimutazawijat. Abdul Basit. Daughters are not married. Correct or wrong?
Wrong.
That's correct. They're not married.
Oh, no.
Right. Abana'uhu tulabun. His sons are students. Correct or wrong? Sahih or la? La. They're not tulab. Sons, ba'duhum muhandisun wa ba'duhum tujarun. Alright? Anybody else online? Ummuhu laysat bi muslimat.
We have Zainab and Salma online.
Alright, okay, good. Good. So Zainab. Ummuhu laysat bi muslimatin.
Correct.
Sah or la?
Tell them again.
Correct.
Sahih. No, correct. Salma. Abuhu muslimun.
No.
Sahih or la?
La.
La. Not sahih. No.
Sahih.
Next one. Ta'ammil ma yali. Observe what follows. So, right. So, you see in an exercise here, using the word laisa. Right? So, we're going to go through this and then we could probably close off here, inshallah.
Right.
Right. Hamidun tulabun. So, we have a nominal sentence here. Hamidun tulabun. Hamidun tulabun. Hamidun laisa bitulabin. So you have a Hamidun tulabun. Hamid is a student.
Brilliant.
Here now, look at how it's applied. Hamid is not a student. Hamid laisa bitulabin. Notice you have to add the ba. Alright? And then you also have the tarmabuta. Sorry, not tarmabuta, the tanween. Kasra, right?
So the first statement is positive. The second statement negates the first statement.
Yes. Yes. So laisa is to basically negate a statement you're making, right?
Asim, when you read the second statement with Elisa, is be tolibin, right? It's still the same singular. It's not tulabin.
Yeah, singular. Sorry, did I say tulabin?
Yeah, you're saying tulabin.
All right, sorry.
It's still the same
Bitolibin.
singular form.
Same singular, yes, correct. Yeah. The second one is right. At-tullabu sigarun. At-tullabu sigarun. The students are small. Remember, sigar is plural of sagir. Sagirun, plural is sigarun. At-tullabu sigarun. At-tullabu laysu bisigarin. At-tullabu laysu bisigarin. The students are not small. Aminatu tabibatun. Aminatu tabibatun. Amina is a doctor. Aminatu laysat bitabibatin. Right? Right. So who wants to try the others now? Right.
Yeah, everything is straightforward. Al-fatayatu mutazawwijatu. Al-fatayatu lasna bimutazawwijatu.
Good. Then
So in one case, it's saying they are married. In the next case, they're saying they are not married.
right. It's the opposite, right? So let's look at the at these pronouns now, how it is applied. Notice they put these in brackets here, meaning that we don't have to say that. It's implied in the thing, right? So anta kabirun. Anta kabirun. You are big. And when you introduce Elisa now, it changes the word Lisa itself, and the anta is implied. So you say lasta bikabirin. Lasta bikabirin. Okay. Next one. Antum jududun. Antum jududun. You are, you plural masculine, are new. You are new. Right? Antum lastum bijududin. Antum lastum bijududin. Next one. Anti fariqatun. Anti
Faqiratun.
faqiratun. Sorry. Anti faqiratun. You are, you, feminine singular, are poor. Right? Faqiratun. Next one. Lasti. Lasti. Notice the ya when you attach these pronouns here. Notice that the ya is dropped. You don't have the ya again, as in these here, right? Laisu, laisat, and so on. Here, when you add the pronouns, now you have lasta, right? Lastum, lasti, bifaqiratin. Lasti, bifaqiratin. Antunna, mujtahidatun. Antunna, mujtahidatun. Antunna, lastunna. Lastunna. Again, the ya drops out because it is a weak letter. If you all recall, when we did kana, right? When you did kana and it's and how it is applied, you know, you would have seen a similar thing, right? You would have seen where the aleph, being a weak letter, drops out when we change it to different forms. All right. So similarly here, the ya being a weak letter, it drops out when we add on all these pronouns. Right. So antunna mujtahidatun, you, feminine plural, are hardworking. So we change it here. Lastunna bi mujtahidatin. That you, plural, feminine, are not hardworking. The last two here. Ana mudarrisun. Ana mudarrisun. Lastu bi mudarrisin. Lastu bi mudarrisin. Nahnu tullabun. Lasna bi tullabin. Lasna bi tullabin. So the important thing here is to see how it changes. The Lisa changes in the different forms with the different pronouns: masculine, feminine, singular, plural, first person, second person, third person. All right. Any questions about this so far?
I think you might just have to memorize the different forms of the conjugation of the Lysa,
Yeah.
the different states, whether it's Lysa, Lysu, Lasta, Lasna, so on. The
Right.
conjugation, you have to memorize those forms.
Yes. Notice
Well,
basically.
when you start learning verbs, all the verbs are going to be ending with the same kind of ending. So it's
Yes.
only be one time you have to memorize it, and then it will be applied to many things afterwards.
Yes. Well, yes, correct. So when we learn the verbs, you will see there are different types of verbs. They are what you call weak verbs. Weak verbs are a verb that has a weak letter in it. All right, like this, similar to this one. So when you have a weak letter, and of course you categorize, if you have a weak letter in the beginning, the middle, or the end, what happens in these scenarios. So once you learn those patterns, as you will see here, you know, it's just a matter of applying it with the respective verb. All right. We haven't gone to that as yet. I think probably when we meet face to face, then we could really go into that in depth because that would involve a lot of, you know, examples and writing and breaking it down and so on. All right. So I don't know if there's any other questions or comments. All right. On page 15, which is number 4. أدخل ليس على الجمل الآتية. Enter or put in or introduce Laisa to the following sentences. All right, so we have Al-Babu Mughlaqun, Al-Babu Mughlaqun. So how do we apply that to that? So inshallah, this we can look at this, you know, as homework, and when we meet next week, we'll try and go through this. I may call on some people to answer, Inshallah ta'ala.
Okay. And that should be certificate.
Any other questions or comments, Imam?
So yeah, because we went more than the time it said, alhamdulillah, for the class is interested. It's just to encourage the others to come out. I thought Shakil and they would have logged in and things too. So, I gotta make some follow-up call during the week and see what is the feedback, why it is some of them not logging in.
No problem.
I'd reach out to Shazim and Shakil, all these others. So I don't know what seems to be the issue.
Right.
But if in case you can reach out to any of them as well to let them know. And the
Sure.
other students who are on, you can reach out to anybody and then let's encourage them to join.
Yeah, no problem, inshallah. Even if you want to